Hello, it's Monday's Talking Reds. It's John Gibbons here with Dan Austin, where we're here to bring you the latest LFC news and what's going on in the world of Liverpool Football Club. We can talk a little bit about international football first. From the weekend, obviously a lot of Liverpool players involved. Congratulations first of all, Bobby Firmino scored for Brazil in a 7-0 win. But the main stuff going on over the weekend was obviously the Nations League, and the Women's World Cup has kicked off as well. Have you watched any of it?
I watched that Nations League final last night and thought it was awful, to be honest. It was really weird because obviously Portugal win it in their home country and stuff, so there was quite a bit of celebration, but it felt like a lot of people didn't really know what to do, and the coverage on Sky felt like it didn't really know what it was about as well. They didn't know whether to take it seriously or not. I saw that Gareth Southgate was a little bit angry that England didn't get to collect their medals on the pitch. They just got given them in a bag in the changes, which shows you how much of a ceremony UEFA think it is. So it's strange. It's a good trophy though. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was.
Really like the way it looks.
Yeah, it was a good trophy, and I watched the England game personally. I watched the third and fourth place playoff, so the worst one. I went for whatever reason, and it did kind of really feel like a friendly. And I've noticed a few people come out and afterwards saying basically the whole thing was graft. There was an interview with Danny Rose, which is worth looking at, and basically said, we lost the Champions League final and then had to go and look at all and he's paid to say they're lovely fellas. But he just wasn't ready to see John Henderson with a big grin on his face.
You forget stuff like that though, don't you? That he's just a human being who's potentially at the pinnacle of his career and professional life there, taken away from him in that final by some people, and then he can't just go on holiday and forget about it, or go back to work and not see them people again. He has to go and then be mates with them, not just see them. He has to be mates with them and work with them, and that must be awful. Actually, if you just want to get away from everything. So they had all that. So it was a strange sort of weekend all round, really. But worth it. I mean, I did enjoy Jordan Pickford absolutely burying that penalty and then saving one, and his little arms going all over the place in celebration. It's nice to see him happy. He's had a tough year. I saw a tweet or something that said it was a really good shootout up until the one that was missed, and all the pens would just be on Pickford's grasp. And I'm starting to think that everyone's doing it purposefully now about his arms. Even the professional, serious journalists are all in on the gag. But it's mad that he took it, isn't it? I think
he took the fifth one.
Yeah, he took his gloves off for it as well. So very, very Ricardo Euro 2004. But I mean, he strikes the ball quite well, I suppose.
He hits it really well. So fair play. I know Neil was a big fan of Alisson maybe taking one if it came to it in the final. Thankfully, it didn't. But I wouldn't surprise me if you see Alisson kind of strolling up one day.
I'd be well into that. He'd have the personality for it, I think, in terms of the temperament, but also, strikes the ball really well. Trent didn't take one, did he? I expected him to. No. The things I was reading was that he was very much man of the match in that game.
Yeah, by a mile. His crossing was absolutely unreal, and there was 2 or 3 put right on a plate for players, especially one for Ali. We're not really sure how he misses. There's a couple of others that people are unlucky with, but his crossing was just absolutely unreal. He just must feel like top of the world at the moment. And see Andy Robbo's goal?
Oh, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's been threatening to do that for ages as well, like that effort in the final. He had one against Wolves on the last day, didn't he? Feels like that's something that he's trying to add to his game, and it's one of the few things I think that if you were the manager and the coaching staff, you'd maybe ask him to do more, is score more goals and maybe be a bit more confident in shooting from distance. So it's a shame that it was for Scotland and not for Liverpool in the European Cup final or something. But it's a really good sign, and it's also brilliant that he's got this extra responsibility. I know he's been the captain for coming up for sort of 8 or 9 months, I think, now for them, but they've got a new manager. It seems to be more of a feel-good factor around Scotland and stuff now. So hopefully the fact that he's the main fella for them and is scoring goals like that means that he comes back in for pre-season again, even higher than what he would have been anyway after the season with Liverpool.
That's right. This Portugal team who've won the Nations League are hotly tipped, it's fair to say, the young players, a lot of them get linked. Liverpool reportedly the reports coming out of Portugal that Liverpool are favourites to sign Bruno Fernandes. He played in that game, sort of. What did you make of him? What do you make of him generally, if you sort of don't want to judge him necessarily just on one game that was a bit rubbish?
Well, generally, I remember doing this thing last year for the World Cup where it's some Norwegian newspaper or something. You could go on their website, type in your height and weight, and it would tell you the World Cup footballer that your physique was the same as, and mine was Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
And
so you followed him ever since?
Yes, with keen interest, but with all due respect to me, I don't think I could hack a Premier League season. So I'm hoping that despite the fact that he weighs the same and is the same height as me, he's physically stronger and more fit, I would hope, because we've played five-a-side together recently, haven't we? And my quad went in the warm-up and I had to stand in goal for an hour, which isn't a great sign.
No.
But I think he's a really good player from the little bits that I've seen of him. I've seen him a few times for Portugal and a couple of times, I think, for Sporting Lisbon over the years. And he scored 33 goals in all comps last year.
Yeah, unreal.
33 in the league. I think he got 19 goals and 13 assists in 31 appearances. So that's 32 goal involvements, if you want to call it that, in 31 games from midfield, which is absolutely brilliant. I was talking to one of my mates the other day and he was saying that he'd seen Man City linked with him, but in theory as like the deepest lying player.
Right.
So like a sort of Fernandinho replacement eventually when he has to move on. So I think that would be mental to take a lad that scored 33 and go, you don't move out of the centre circle, please, and pass it sideways. I think he's really, really good. I'm not entirely sure that Liverpool will spend that much money on a midfielder, because what I've seen of him, I don't think he could play any of the front three roles.
Right.
So with them having spent the money on Keita last summer and him taking a bit more responsibility towards the end of this campaign, and Chamberlain coming back as well, I don't see them getting a lad that would just be looking to play at the top of the midfield. If he could do sort of the Firmino position as well, then maybe, and maybe he could do that. You know, we've seen Klopp turn players like Wijnaldum into different kinds of footballer than what we ever thought they would be. So maybe they could do something around that with him, where he could play at the top of the midfield or down the middle of a front three. But I think he's really, really good. I think he just might not fit the way this Liverpool plays.
Wait and see on that one. Another one who's been heavily linked is Nicolas Pepe. Or is it Pepe? How are you pronouncing it? Pepe, there we are. Dan's so continental, you know. I asked him to pronounce all my European stuff. Bad News Ghost, who's the new Bad News Barrett, whoever you want to call it, or Bad News, kind of whoever it is, the Echo person at the time.
Whoever's told us we're not signing someone, essentially.
Reckons there's been no contact with him. There was a story over the weekend in the Echo by Paul Ghost who said that you know, there's all this talk that we've made contact, that we've bid a certain amount, kind of isn't true, and he doesn't seem to think there's anything going on there at all. So never mind on that one. And the only one I want to talk about transfer-wise was Ryan Kent, who Liverpool are talking about going on loan again. I've just had a look and he's 22, which feels sort of quite old for going through this idea of a loan again. There's talk of, and I know Rangers want him back ideally on loan, because I don't think they've got loads of money. So the idea of him going back there appeals to them. I think a few Championship clubs are starting to sniff, because he had a good year in Scotland, to be fair, and you wonder whether the club might decide, if there's a decent offer from a Leeds United or something like that they might just go, yeah, it's best for everyone if he moves on now.
I would hope so, because it's quite clear that he's never going to play for Liverpool, is he, on a regular basis. I think with Wilson, people might still think that that's a possibility, or the club might have one eye on it a little bit still, but Kent, it's quite obvious, I think, that he's not really good enough to play for Liverpool. So if they think that by sending him out on loan for another year, they could then get more money this time next year or something like that, then that would make sense. But I imagine his contract situation is he's probably not got that many years left, so it would make more sense to sell now. Maybe Rangers will say something like, well, we can't buy him this summer, but we can definitely buy him next year, so we'll do some sort of loan where we have an obligation to buy him or something like that. But yeah, he did the loan of Frankfurt as well, didn't he, the season before? So he's done 2 seasons there of top level football, even if, you know, Frankfurt aren't the best team in Germany, and people will say what they will about the level of the Scottish League and stuff, but he's had a real good go now at 2 fairly competent sides. So I would expect that a certain amount of teams at a certain level would be interested in him, and I do think that if they can move him on for what they deem to be a respectable fee, it would make more sense for the club, because they get the money and they don't have to look after that player anymore, and also him, because it means he's got more certainty, because if he ends up going on loan to another team in another country this year and then gets sold again next year, he's done about 4 or 5 years there without any continuity, which I think at his age doesn't really make an awful lot of sense either. So yeah, as you say, I think it'd be best for everyone if he sort of moved on permanently.
Okay, there'll be loads more transfer stuff on the Gutter, which is our What I don't know what you call something. If tri-weekly, if you do it 3 times a week.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Not just the European stuff, but the English as well. Dan, tell me how this.
I paid 45 grand for this English lit and French degree, and this is the only way I put it to any use.
Helping Gibbons with words and that. Yeah, so basically we're doing 3 gutter shows a week at the moment for Tall Play, which is our subscription audio service, where Rob Gutman gets down and dirty in the transfer stuff. He's got all the stories. He's found all the fellas, all the in the nose on Twitter, gone through them all and found the stuff. So we're recording a new one today, but there's 3 a week at the moment as well. So if you're into your transfer stuff, that's the best place to find it. Rob going through all the nonsense, so you don't have to. And the only other thing I want to mention as well is that we've got a brand new T-shirt on sale on the website at the moment, which is theanfieldwrap.com/shop. Go there. There's 4 brand new designs to celebrate Liverpool's Madrid triumph. They're very popular, they're very pretty. Sam's done a great job on them, so have a little look. I would show you one now, but they're being printed as we speak. We're getting them over the next couple of days, but you can order them now, and we will get them out to you as soon as they come. But hopefully Ash will throw up some nice graphics or something. I'm looking at them now, creating work for people. One Neil's not here, so someone's got to. And also all the other stuff from last year is currently on sale. So if you go onto the shop as well and look at the new designs, but also all the stuff from last year is all completely on sale, so you can get yourself a couple little bargains there as well. But I think that's everything. Yeah, thanks to Dan. Up to next.